Okay, so basically we're at this point where it's burn everything and rewrite the past. This is getting crazy. If you're new here and you like my opinions, then it is probably a good idea to show some support for me. That would be awesome. By like, subscribe, and comment down below. Get that conversation started. I think this is an important conversation that we should have. If you don't like my opinions on this topic, then there are 3 things that you need to do, and one of them is not get off this video. Okay, that's a surprising statement, I'm sure. The 3 things you need to do, honestly, and this is going to be kind of scary and hard probably for you to do, especially if you disagree with me, like, subscribe, and comment. You see, life can be fun for everybody. Anyways, enough about that. Let's get on with the show. There have been recent revelations that different services are removing movies and TV shows that have negative depictions of people of color. Now, this is how we're apparently dealing with inconvenient truths of the past and inconvenient things that were made and things that other people maybe even find to be funny or serious or classics. This is what we're going to do, okay? Now, the first that I heard about this whole thing happening, let's call it a purge, okay, was HBO Max simply getting rid of the movie Gone with the Wind, which is, by the way, one of those classics that I was talking about. It's a long as hell movie for those complaining about the 2.5-hour movies that we do get today, but it's still a classic, okay? It's one that I definitely recommend at least watching once in your life, probably. I saw it when I was 15 in one of those old school streaming houses. I don't know if anyone remembers these things called cinemas, because we haven't been out of our houses for quite a while. Anyways, from my recollection, the movie goes for about 4 hours, maybe 4.5. If I'm wrong, let me know down below, with an intermission in the middle. And that is seriously a hell of a long time. Anyways, they were announcing that they were going to remove the film and somehow add historical context for this film. I don't understand what that means. Are they going to manipulate the movie? Are they going to add a disclaimer at the beginning of the movie? Why do we need that? I don't understand.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
But the way I see it, if you want the historical context, then you need to go beyond the movie, okay? You need to do your research. So now basically what we're saying is we're just going to baby the younger generations so that they understand what was happening at the time. And to that I have to say, are you serious? I'm not even sure what adding historical context is supposed to do. Does this lessen some imaginary blow that people are taking? And not only that, right? To change this movie is to change history, and I don't think that you really should or can or want to do that. Why do we need to change history? This is how we learn from the past, okay? It's how we learn what is right and what is wrong, and that's what we need to understand. Also, by the way, if you're going to add this historical context, do you realize we live in the age of the internet, a time where younger people, especially those who may not understand what was going on at that time, can actually do research instead of just being offended. So now we're just going to expect our youth to do basically nothing, and we have to tell them everything. But we've given them, we haven't given them, but whoever made the internet, okay, whenever they were creating it, basically gave younger people the chance to do all the research they need and not just stop and be offended. We don't have to shut down or recalibrate stuff for someone else that is offended by a movie that is, by the way, 80 years old, okay? You show me a 15-year-old that's going, or even an 18-year-old that's going to watch a 80-year-old movie, right, that really wants to watch this movie and is going to take it like that's the product of now. What the hell? It just doesn't make sense to me. Then, by the way, we're going to move on to another streaming platform that is planning to do basically the same thing, or they have done the same thing, and that is Netflix. Now, I don't know if you've heard of that company before. They do definitely have a lot of sort of controversial moments, and we always think, oh, well, that's the last one, and yet here we are. They've done it again. Now, I'll assume that this is just for us living down in the region down under, because I don't know how many people have heard of the comedian Chris Lilley, and whether or not you think that he's funny as a comedian, that is completely up to you, by the way. Humor is 100% relative.
If that's being disruptive, then fuck you. That's not disruptive, that's entertainment.
People have different types of humor. People think different things are funny. People think some things that are funny in the black comedy sense and some things that are funny in the child's comedy sense. And there's a whole lot of there's different forms of funny, and some people think that someone getting kicked in the groin is hilarious. Okay, this is how it works. So I think it's pretty important to note that the more racy stuff is the stuff that seems to be being attacked these days, which is ridiculous. to be fair, because comedy is comedy, and not everything that's racy gets attacked, I guess. I will get more into that in a little bit. So basically, let's get back to Chris Lilley. His long haul of hilarious works, and you could call it not hilarious, doesn't make a difference to me. Whatever you think is fine, including representations of characters like Jonah from Tonga, who is hilarious, by the way, or S-Mouse, his African-American rapper, which I found to be kind of so-so, are being removed because of the requirement to put on black or brown face. Now, I could understand that if this was done in a way that was intended to be very hurtful, and I could even understand people taking offense to that. That would make complete sense, okay? In some way, shape, or form, people take offense to pretty much everything. Does that mean that we just have to shut down every single thing because someone's going to be offended? I'm offended people are getting cancelled out there. That's offensive to me. So everyone that's cancelling someone needs to be cancelled. I think that's just how it should go. And then, look, there, I'm offended by myself. How hilarious is that? Now, look, I don't think that the idea behind these shows that Chris Lilley made was meant for any malicious or hateful intent toward these different groups or types of people, whatever you want to go. So to remove them just because of black or brown face it's stupid. And also, brown face, I thought it was just blackface. I thought even if you blackened it a little bit, that was blackface. Why are we just creating a new lexicon of words that don't need to be there? Anyways, let's move on to the elephant in the room. I told you that I'd get back to this blackface thing only being a problem for people of color, apparently. Because, before, there is a movie out there that was done a while ago now, and if you haven't seen this movie, by the way, it is an absolutely hilarious movie that does something people never hear about, and I think that we should, if you haven't seen this, I'm recommending right now that you go watch it, and if you're offended by this movie, then that's an issue that you're going to have to take up with yourself, because this movie is hilarious. It should not be cancelled, but if we're going to cancel everything one way that we have for the blackface scenario, then we need to cancel everything for the whiteface scenario, and I know there's only one movie we can think of, but that's fine. And what movie is that, you ask? Let me help you out. By the way, the movie is White Chicks. White Chicks is one of those movies that you see two black men, okay, that dress up as white women. Now, this shouldn't even just be offensive to the white nation or people, or whatever you want to call them. And that's not me trying to be racist, by the way, because we seem to inject race into everything that we don't need to inject it into nowadays. But should also be offensive to women, white women specifically, because now there's two black men who think that they know how to be women. I don't understand how that's not an issue as well that we haven't even brought up, as though that's something that's so easy to do. How are more people not offended by this movie? I think that it's hilarious. But if we're going to call out offensive things, then this has to be one of them. We seem to keep on calling out blackface and brownface and all these different faces, but whiteface is apparently 100% not a problem. Okay. Also, while we're on the topic of brownface, are we going to start not selling spray tan in shops? Is that how this is going to work? Because we can't do brownface. So women that go to the clubs with spray tan on, that's disgustingly racist, and you should be cancelled. Everyone that's ever put on spray tan should be cancelled. Do you see what I'm talking about by how far this goes? Shouldn't the stores that have sold spray tan be under question and under fire? Because we have, again, brown face easily accessible. What is this going to start? And where does the end go? If we're going to start this, let's go the whole 9 yards. If you really want to be crazy, let's just take it all away. I want to see what's going to happen. Honestly, it's crazy. Anyways, that is all from me. I could probably talk about this for a while, and pretty much every one of these videos just seems to feel like a rant. I hope it's kind of fun for you, because it's really fun for me just to look at how stupid and idiotic and silly this whole scenario is, because everyone's just offended by everything and everybody's getting cancelled left, right, and center for doing the smallest, most menial things that happens consistently. And look, don't get me wrong, sometimes I understand people that are getting cancelled for the right reasons. I get that sometimes. I mean, Harvey Weinstein, cancelled for the right reasons. 100% understand that, okay? That is a good cancellation. These people that are getting cancelled for making jokes back in the day and putting on spray tan, let's go with that. No. That's not where I think cancellations are required, okay? And again, if you've enjoyed this video or the opinions that I hold, then why not show me some support by hitting the old like and subscribe buttons, and get your voice heard down below at the bottom by leaving a comment. I definitely love to hear what people think about these topics. So this is somewhere that you should definitely start the conversation. Let's get it going and cracking down there. If you absolutely hated what I had to say, then 100%, why don't you do the right thing? The right thing is to like, subscribe, and comment just in case you were wondering, and leave me an onslaught of hateful comments in this video, the next video, the last video, all videos. I will be happy to chat with you. Anyways, that is all from me. I am out. I'm done. Peace. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.